My daughters, they're 12. I was 18 when I had them. Their dad passed away a few years later. And my daughters and myself attend programs through the school regularly. And on that night, it happened to be a program called CAP through the YWCA. And that night it was good touch, bad touch. They had talked to us about talking to our children about what's an okay touch and what's not an okay touch. And on our way home, they told me that they needed to talk to me. Something was going to change our lives that they needed to tell me. They told me that they had been touched by my fiance. I could see the horror in their eyes when they told me. I knew they weren't lying. I grabbed my son and my daughters and we left. When they had told me, I wanted to make sure that I got them into counseling right away. It is very, very difficult to find a counselor that specializes in sexual abuse cases. It's very rare to find a counselor or therapist that you can actually afford. And I was told that the YWCA is a very good program and they specialize in sexual abuse cases.
Many people don't realize how truly vulnerable children are to sexual abuse. More than 50% of reported sexual assaults happen to children under the age of 18. The YWCA is one of the few providers of specialized counseling services for children, and we see over 450 cases each year. Our services are free, which means that families that might otherwise go without care can get the help that they need.
When I came here, I immediately felt welcome. They got me in touch with one of the counselors, and I explained to her the situation before I even had brought my daughters, and I wanted to make sure that I felt comfortable with the counselor. And she was wonderful. She got me involved with a court advocate that would help me through court, and they took me through every single step that I would need to go through to get him prosecuted. I went to every court date. I was there up until the end where he took his plea bargain, and he pled guilty and took a plea of 30 years. Since the girls have been going to counseling, they're doing wonderful. They are doing really awesome in school. They're both on honor roll, and they're both in chorus. And with coming to counseling, I see them blooming into like really, really beautiful little girls.
Families absolutely can heal from the trauma of child sexual abuse if the right steps are taken. Believing the child, getting them into counseling, and showing them love can go a long way towards their recovery.
Without the Y being able to give us the counseling and the court advocates and the supports that they do give us, we may have not been on the right track. And with all the support that they gave us, we have a very bright future ahead of us.
I think every child deserves to be loved. And the reality is, everybody works. And I think a child care environment is so beneficial for a child because they learn to love and to trust.
YWCA Early Childhood Services impacts over 20,000 parents, providers, and children each year. We want to make sure that we're referring parents to high-quality child care facilities, so we provide comprehensive child care provider training to people who may want to start a child care program in their home.
I'm a licensed family group home child care home. I have 11 children that are full-time. I started out become interested in doing child care in 1989. The licensed child care provider I went to with my daughter told me about the WISE program. Prior to that, I was just a professional parent. I had no idea what was out there for child care providers. As I attended the classes through the years, I was interested in a national accreditation program. It was cost prohibitive at the time because I had children in college and a small one at home. And through the YWCA's program of professional development funds, I was able to get reimbursed for it.
We are so proud to have Arlene as one of our alumni. Not only has she given children a wonderful start in life, but she's also given back to the community as president of the Lowell Naperville Home Day Care Association.
The YWCA Child Care Resource and Referral Center is a remarkable source of information. The amount of trainings are just phenomenal that are provided to us so affordably that just can't be duplicated from any other source. And the trainings, the bottom line is, it gets back to the child. It improves the child's type of quality of care that they receive. You know, I started this thinking I was just going to start this childcare profession while my daughter was in school. Elementary years came and went, high school came and went, and college came and went. I'm still here. I found the best rewarding job that I could ever have had.
Ms. Watson came to us on December 9, 2009. And when she came to me, she was, just very, very sad.
I came from New Orleans. I was leaving an abusive relationship, and I ended up leaving there and everything behind. And I ended up going into the shelter with my 5 children at that time. It was like nothing was happening. I couldn't find a job. I couldn't find a home. Everything was just in a rut. So I ended up just coming over here and to the Y, and I ended up meeting a young lady by the name of Sequester Scout. Well, after I first initially met Miss Sequester, I didn't really trust anybody at this time, because at this point I was just lost. It was over for me. I was ready to really just give up, and I just stopped caring.
So once she began to tell her story, there were some crisis situations that she was in. And so the first thing we have to do is resolve those situations. So once we got, started dealing with her issues, then we started talking about long-term and short-term goals.
When I first went into the classes, like I said, I wasn't too ready to open up and receive the information. It took me a while. But once I saw that the people here at the Y was genuine and that they really did care, that's when I started listening, and I started opening up and started receiving everything. I just wanted everything. An economic improvement program is awesome. Well, but the resume, I learned how to do basic computer work. I learned how to do interview skills. I learned how to talk to people. I have employment. I work for the Safe Passage program for Community Watch, where I watch the kids go back and forth to school safely. I have a 4-bedroom apartment, and I have a really good relationship with my kids and everything. Everything is going really great.
I see really great things from Ms. Watson. She's achieved a lot of her short-term goals, so I know she's going to achieve the long-term goals that she's set for herself. And I think she's creating new goals. And I think that eventually she will become one of our alumni who will come back and talk about her journey and will sense the other women and maybe even become a mentor.
For so long, you deal with so many negative things in your life, and so many people tell you that you can't be something and you can't do this. And when I came to the Y, I found out that those things was not true. I found out that I was more than what I thought I was. I found out that I could be whatever I want to be if I just stuck with it and put my mind to it. I found a confidence that I never thought that I could ever have.